We expect the systems that run our world, hospitals, tech platforms, intelligence agencies, to deliver essential services and protect the public. But to provide those services at a global scale, these organizations require a highly specific architecture. Before they can deliver anything, they have to funnel everything into a bottleneck. This structural bottleneck creates the gate. When access is restricted, you need intermediaries. You rely on gatekeepers who decide who gets through. Once established, a predictable shift occurs. The institution spends less energy serving the public and more protecting its own authority. When an organization's survival and power supersedes its original protective mandate, it becomes a rogue gate. It stops looking at the public as a responsibility and starts treating them as a resource. Take the medical gatekeeping system. Its entire legal and ethical foundation is built on a strict mandate to heal patients and protect public health. Purdue Pharma and its consultants at McKinsey bypassed that mandate entirely. They used the institutional stamp of medical approval to incentivize doctors and pharmacies to aggressively prescribe highly addictive opioids, effectively monetizing addiction. Eventually, the death toll reached a volume that could no longer be ignored. Purdue pleaded guilty to defrauding the United States government and violating anti-kickback laws. The system's immediate reflex was self-preservation. Rather than opening up to full accountability, the institution attempted to use bankruptcy courts to shield its leaders and owners from personal liability. The institution never self-corrected. That legal maneuver was only dismantled because the Supreme Court intervened and blocked the settlement that would have granted them immunity. The medical gate failed this stress test. It weaponized its own financial and legal architecture to preserve executive wealth, rather than protecting the health of the public. We see a similar pattern with digital tech platforms. Their initial promise was to democratize information and connect humanity without barriers. The operational reality is that these platforms require human attention to survive. They treat our focus as an exploitable resource to be harvested at scale. Platforms like TikTok utilize infinite scrolls, autoplay, and relentless push notifications. These are algorithmic mechanics engineered to lock users inside a controlled digital environment. Meanwhile, companies like Meta aggressively restrict third-party access to their tools. They build walls around their ecosystems to ensure users cannot bypass their proprietary gate. These digital gatekeepers govern public cognition. They don't do this by offering free choice, but by engineering behavioral dependency to maintain a monopoly over the public mind. The national intelligence apparatus operates under the heaviest mandate of all, protecting citizens from severe existential threats. Fulfilling that mandate requires the construction of a massive, asymmetric information gate. It is an architecture where the state sees all, but the public sees nothing. This structure places severe risks on everyday citizens. Under authorities like FISA Section 702, the capability to surveil foreign targets routinely sweeps up the communications of domestic populations, threatening basic civil liberties. When oversight boards and critics challenge these overreaches, the agencies respond defensively. They fight to secure short-term legislative extensions to preserve their capabilities, pushing any actual structural reforms safely out of sight. When a security gate faces the threat of transparency, it will consistently prioritize its own operational supremacy over the civil liberties it was built to defend. These aren't isolated failures. When one major node in a connected system is compromised, the surrounding institutions rarely expose the truth immediately. Instead, they close ranks to preserve the overall legitimacy of the network. When caught in a crisis, institutions rely on a defensive playbook. They bypass genuine correction entirely, choosing to delay investigations, diffuse blame, and absorb damage. They deploy financial settlements to simulate accountability. Behind this cosmetic shield, they fiercely resist true external transparency. There is only one test for true institutional correction. An organization is only truly fixing the core problem if it voluntarily surrenders its own power to outside supervision. If an institution keeps its power and only changes its public relations story, it isn't correcting itself. It is merely managing exposure. A system built to serve the holders of access will always protect the gate before it serves the truth.